E3 is cancelled, guys. Yeah, welcome to a brand new video. This one starts off pretty negatively, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I wanted to be happy today, but this whole coronavirus thing is honestly putting everything in jeopardy, it seems like, and honestly, it's not the first thing that's been cancelled. A lot of things have been cancelled recently, and I want to talk today about some Nintendo Direct new information that's been coming out. We're definitely going to get a Direct this month. It seems like it. A lot of sources are saying it. A lot of sources that I do trust are saying it, so I think we're going to see a Nintendo Direct this month, which is, of course, pretty feasible. It's an online thing. It doesn't require an actual in real life attendance, so to say. So yeah, but I'm gonna be honest though, this is really scary, man. Like, you know, it's getting kind of scary with this whole thing because people are freaking out, man. Like, seriously, I live in Sweden, dude, and it's been crazy here as well recently with the whole virus thing. So let's get into the actual information we have here, ladies and gentlemen. So first things first, we're gonna go into the E3 thing, which is that it's been confirmed. Cancellation of E3 2020 is confirmed by the coronavirus. So here's what it basically says: after careful consultation with our member companies regarding the health and safety of everyone in our industry, our fans, our employees, our exhibitors, and our longtime E3 partners, we have made the difficult decision to cancel E3 2020, scheduled for June 9th till 11th in Los Angeles, the ESA said in a statement. So yeah, they've cancelled it. They've cancelled E3, which means there's no E3 this year, guys. They may still do an online event, some sort of online live stream, but honestly, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, this is actually making me really sad, because I was really excited for E3 this year. Like, you know, we've got Cyberpunk coming out this year, so maybe some new Cyberpunk gameplay. You know, I wanted to see the new, like, you know, the Ghost of Tsushima, and all these games that have been announced in the past. Like, you know, I want to see all that kind of brought to the forefront and showed off in, you know, this big event, because that's the thing with E3, it's a fun thing, okay? I think what people miss with E3 is, like, it's a fun thing, it's fun to watch, you know, like, and then judge, like, oh, Ubisoft was good this year, or Ubisoft was bad this year, or Bethesda was awful, or Bethesda was great, or, like, you know, hey, Sony was best, Microsoft was best, Nintendo was best. It's always fun, you know, with that sort of stuff, I'm gonna be honest. But this year, there won't be any of that. This year, there is no E3, which, in my opinion, is honestly kind of depressing. I really, really was excited for it, but, guess there's none of that, which is honestly kind of sad. But yeah, so that's the first thing I want to go through today and just talk about. Next up, though, we got some interesting information about a Nintendo Direct for this month. So the first piece of info here is this tweet right here, saying, you know, from AJ Umbra, or AJ, the Umbra trainer on Twitter, and this is a weird post here that basically says, heard about the partnership between Lego and Nintendo, question mark. The latest Nintendo Direct announced their exciting collaboration. And what did he mean by latest? Because this, we don't know anything about this. The first time that the two big brands have worked together. Details are limited at this stage, but we hope you're excited as excited as us. So yeah, it turns out that this kind of essentially here confirms this might be happening. That we might see a Lego Mario game, right? Which is actually, I'm excited for that. I really want a Lego Mario game. I kind of want to play that. That's not even the craziest part. It's the fact that this essentially confirmed that Nintendo Direct is coming, right? And that's not the only thing, though. There's more stuff here. For example, you got Nintendo Everything tweeting out something. We're actually going to read the article as well, saying, rumor, March 2020 Nintendo Direct on the way. Nintendo in the final stages of putting it together. Which, to me, sounds good. I mean, hey, I mean, honestly, that sounds good to me. If they're putting it together right now, preparing it, getting it ready for shipment, aka shipping out to us through the interwebs, right, to the internet, I'm ready for it, man. I'm excited for it. Like, let's be honest, we haven't had a Nintendo Direct in like almost 6 months, and it's like, you know, we haven't had anything in 6 months, and it's honestly like, we need a new Direct, we need some new info, we need to know what the hell's happening with Nintendo this year. Like, 2020, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, 2020 has been a bad year so far. We've had a lot of bad things in the world. We've had the fires in Australia, we've had the virus thingy, you know, happening, a lot of, like, just really bad things have been happening, so I think we need a little bit more positive in our life, and I think a Nintendo Direct right now would make me very happy. I'd love to see Breath of the Wild 2, and, you know, I think everyone would be really happy if that was to happen. You know, bring up our spirits a little bit, at least for the Nintendo community, right? But in general, though, it's been honestly kind of depressing the recent few months, so, I don't know, personally, I think a lot of the Nintendo community would love it, because we just, you know, haven't had anything new in a while, so that'd be cool. But, how do we know this is going to happen? Well, we're going to read into that a little bit in a second, but here's an update. So, VentureBeat says, and VentureBeat, I guess, is the magazine, says that the Indie World presentation is likely happening on March 18th, and then Nintendo Direct will happen on March 26th, and that makes sense, right? So having the indie one on the 18th, and then an actual proper one on March the 26th makes sense, because otherwise, you won't, like, that way you won't interfere with the release of Animal Crossing, right, which is on the 20th of March. So it makes a lot of sense, right? It makes a lot of sense. And a lot of people are tweeting about this, tweeting out like, finally, being excited, which I'm of course also excited for this because I've been waiting for a direct for way too long right now, and I need some Nintendo Direct in my life. So here's basically what the post says here. So, rumor, March 2020 Nintendo Direct on the way. Nintendo is in final stages of putting it together. So, what's it all about? Well, update. VentureBeat has updated its article and says that an Indie World presentation is likely to happen on March 18th, and the Nintendo Direct will happen March 26th. Original, we haven't seen a general Nintendo Direct in more than a half a year. And that's the crazy part. It's been 6 months, yo. It's been more than 6 months since an actual proper Nintendo Direct. Like, sure, we've had the Pokemon one, we've had the Animal Crossing one, but we haven't had a proper big Nintendo Direct in ages. So the anticipation for a new broadcast is at an all-time high. Adding to that is the uncertainty behind Nintendo's 2020 lineup, as Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition is one of the company's few games confirmed for this year. Yeah, very few games. There's nothing else really confirmed. And we still don't have an exact release date for even that, right? We don't even know, like, that's a game that's coming out this year, but we don't even know about that one and when that's precisely dropping, right? So we literally right now, we know nothing, okay? We've got nothing to work with for this year in terms of games. And like everything that's so far released and is releasing is already kind of happened, right? Or is just about to happen. So for example, Animal Crossing is releasing in like what? Like 8 days from now, that's when Animal Crossing is dropping. And then on top of that, you just had Mystery Dungeon drop, which kind of came out of nowhere, right? So what actually, like, what else do we have? I mean, we're already 3 months past almost, or 2.5 months, through, this year, like we're already getting through this year pretty quickly. Time just moves on very fast. Time doesn't stop. And, it's just really, truly weird, like, to think about how fast time is going, but, like, nothing's been happening. Nothing, no new updates, no new things, nothing. So, let's continue. It's only a matter of time before we see the next Nintendo Directs. But VentureBeat, which we can actually check out, well, like, the actual pages. I think it's like a outlet. Yeah, it's an actual outlet. It's like a business website, I guess. So let's see, but let's see what it says. So VentureBeat claims to have some information as to when it will debut. The site is reporting that Nintendo is in the final stages of putting together a presentation together, which could air in the next 2 weeks with a penciled in date of March 18th or March 19th. That's based on some information VentureBeat has received, and other indicators such as the YouTube playlist being updated. So we already know about the YouTube playlist. I talked about this in my video last night about this. Pretty much confirming that there is something on the way, something's on the horizon. Question though is like, when exactly will it drop? We don't really know, but we'll know soon. Hopefully, we'll know soon. Now, VentureBeat doesn't go into detail as to what the new Direct will include. However, it will bring in support from third-party publishers and developers, which is the norm for these presentations. So, of course, we already know that third-party games have becoming a bigger bigger on Nintendo's, new console, the Switch, right? It's not really new anymore. It's several years old now, but it's like, it's finally like, they need to get more of those third-party games. I think that's where, like, Nintendo struggles, is that there's a lack of usually of third-party games. But I think they've done good with the Nintendo Switch so far, though they can do better, right? Because, like, look at, like, the PlayStation 4, etc. The other consoles, which are kind of like, they're dominating because of the fact that they're in those third-party markets, getting a lot of those third-party games, whereas Nintendo isn't. And I think that's where they just got to jump in and start, go more headfirst into it rather than just waiting, behind. So we're probably going to see more of those third-party games popping up. A lot of indie games will probably be in the indie presentation, and who knows? I mean, I just want to see some Breath of the Wild 2. If there is Pokemon info, I'd love some Pokemon. Listen, I always want Pokemon information. You guys know me, okay? If there is Pokemon info, I want that shit, okay? I want that information. I always want it, bro. Always want it. So, yeah, if you got some for me, I'll take it. I'll take it anytime, any day, anywhere, mate. But yeah, so what else is there to really say? Well, let's think about all there is to really point out here. So VentureBeat doesn't go into detail about what the new Direct includes, etc., etc. This month is definitely not a certainty, so we advise taking today's report with a grain of salt. VentureBeat does also caution that things could change. Expect to hear something early next week if the Nintendo Direct is truly happening. So yeah, next week, this was posted, when was this posted? I think today, right? So March 10th, yesterday. So this was posted yesterday, right? Which means that we can expect some info by the 16th of next week, 17th, 16th, something like that, is when you should expect to see some new information. It's, we'll see what happens. But apparently VentureBeat's saying they have info. I'll look through the website here, see if we can find some information about this. But let's see if we can, find any info about Nintendo Direct. Let's just search Nintendo Direct, and we should get some information about this because I want to see what their post says about it. So of course we know E3 is cancelled, etc., etc. And also, by the way, Reggie is now working for GameStop. He's the CEO of GameStop, I think, which is interesting. So here we go. So March Nintendo Direct in works with focus on 2020 lineup. So let's see, the next Nintendo Direct is in the works. The publisher hasn't confirmed the event yet, but is in the final stage of putting the video presentation together. That's based on what we're hearing, as well as some other indicators. Expect Nintendo Direct soon. The company is penciling in on one of its indie showcases, like the one released around GDC 2019 for the next week, likely March 18th. A full general Direct will follow soon after, likely March 26th. Unlike the last two Directs, which focused on specific games, Pokemon Animal Crossing New Horizons, the next Nintendo Direct we'll take a broader look at the Nintendo Switch's upcoming lineup. Nintendo's first-party slate is the subject of many rumors, and I can't confirm what it will show off, but expect the company to continue relying heavily on remasters and ports. But Nintendo will also bring in support for third-party publishers and developers, so expect to hear about a wide variety of games that you can pick up for Nintendo's hybrid home/handheld Switch console through the summer and beyond. I've reached out to Nintendo, but it declined to comment. What proof is there that the Direct is happening next week? Well, the publisher hasn't announced the Direct yet, so things could change. And yes, this is absolutely me hedging, but Nintendo is deep into the process of putting the event together based on what I've heard. Now, I don't know where you heard that from, but fair enough. It is decided many of the third-party games will be included in the event, so definitely is happening, and almost certainly before the end of March. I wouldn't normally read too much into that pattern. Nintendo doesn't behave in a consistent manner that is easy to predict, but this is circumstantial evidence that lines up with everything else. Finally, Nintendo needs to communicate its lineup, and not even to its fans. To the publisher, the publisher is coming up to the end of its fiscal year on March 31st, and investors will want to know what Nintendo's plans are to keep generating revenue. It could do that with a conference call with analysts and its shareholders, but it's more likely Nintendo would actually present its lineup to fans first at this point. So exactly, this is like another thing people miss, right? From a business perspective, Nintendo is like in a shitty spot right now. Like, they haven't given us anything new in a while, man. We don't know any info, right? How are we meant to spend our money if we don't know if anything new is coming, right? Because we don't know what to pre-order next. We don't know what's coming next, right? A lot of people don't have that much money to spend. They maybe have money for maybe 2 games a year, and they want to know what's coming if they should pre-order, something for their PlayStation 4, or maybe like to their, if they're on PC and on a Switch, maybe they want to get a game on PC instead. They need to know what to prioritize and what to buy and what not to buy and what to get ready to buy, right? Like, it's good to know what's coming so you can kind of like, decide on what you want to get. So, it makes sense to give us some information now. And also, the investors clearly want to know about this, because it's honestly, like, investors are probably the biggest problem when it comes to companies, right? You got to appeal to them a lot, and they got to know what's going on, and they got to announce stuff here so that the investors know what's happening. What profit margins should they expect for the coming year? So yeah, basically that's about it. So the last general Direct was in September, and fans know almost nothing about what's coming to the Switch beyond Animal Crossing. A Direct would enable Nintendo to carry some momentum into its fiscal year end. It could then also point to the Direct as evidence of the future revenue during its shareholder meeting in the spring. If this Direct pans out, we should hear about it early next week. And they just did a little bit of update here. It's likely happening March 18th, and then Nintendo Direct will happen March 26th. So yeah, we've gone through this a few times now. But that's basically it, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks so much for watching this video, guys. If you did enjoy, drop a like down below. And again, hopefully this does happen. I know you all are excited for a Direct. I know I'm excited for a Direct. I need it in my life. I need it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Have a great day, and bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen. Peace out.